Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. I have a great video for you guys and gals today. This stuff is crazy. You definitely want to stick around, so grab some popcorn, smash that like button, and let's jump into it. Now, a lot of people don't like precious metals. And more specifically, silver is seen as the rebellious metal. So I wanted to figure out why. Do people just not know its value and think it's shiny and that's why people buy it? Or do they at least know that there is some value and what's going on here? I found the results are astounding. So there's two articles. The first one is more from a literal point of view, more black and white. The second article is from the opposite. Someone actually talking about this from a first point of view. So it's gonna get interesting. The points they make are crazy, but I am curious what you think about this. Let me know if you like these types of videos. I'm really trying to switch up my content, make stuff that's not always so educational, but also entertaining as well, right? So let's get into this stuff. So why some people hate gold? So and it's almost like when precious metals prices drop, people like are celebrate. It's almost like they're mad. It's weird. So, anyways, their companies seem to revolve around four principal themes. And let me bring this back. So, the question is, apart from the emotional satisfaction of putting the boot in, are these critics justified? See, these are the complaints, and one, gold isn't an investment. It produces no income and should therefore at best be regarded as a trade. Okay? It can't be okay, off rip. At number one, I already have to stop. I try so hard to get through this stuff without saying anything, to get the video going through, but man, it's not an investment. It produces no income, should therefore at best be regarded as trade. Gold is one of the only things that is an investment because it itself is the value. Anyways, though, I can see where they're coming from a literal standpoint, but the context is so off in that you're missing the whole point, right? They're not understanding the whole reason why we invest into silver. So anyways, number two, it can't be valued properly. With no income and no shortage of existing stocks, the bull case is entirely reliant on an unending supply of greater tools, of fools. Wow, and this misses the whole point as well. It can't be valued properly, but that's also what gives it its potential, because in the future, as the dollar decreases, gold's value as a real world asset, and silver, especially silver, is going to come forth on, and so you buy it for cheap, and that goes to back what an investment is. And they're saying it's not an investment, but then they're explaining that it is an investment. So number three, gold supporters are true believers, more akin to members of a cult than a rational economic actor. So they're thinking that we're cult-like. They're thinking we're crazy, cult-like, get out our tinfoil hats. And it's sad, honestly, because it's really not that, right? I'm trying to come from an unbiased opinion because I am a strong supporter of gold and silver. But okay, let me break it down. It's not a cult. We are just very passionate about precious metals because we see the potential, we understand its true value, and it's something that you can still invest into that didn't explode yet. This could be a life-changing investment. Just like the Bitcoin boom, people called those Bitcoin people crazy, but look what happened, and now who has the last laugh? Precious metals makes even more sense than Bitcoin, has more uses, more potential. It's also more affordable. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make my videos come off like I'm trying to persuade you to buy silver. I share why I think precious metals are valuable, what I see with the prices in my journey, in my experience. That's all I can do. So number four, in any case, it's way too volatile to ever be a proper currency. It was once upon a time, even if that were theoretically possible and desirable. All the fools who bought the gold as money pitch are going to get buried. Well, maybe. Huh. In any case, and the thing is, the worst part about this is they're writing this from a fiat brainwashed mind state. This person isn't isn't implicating the dollar strength, the dollar value, where the dollar is headed, how much the dollar has lost in purchasing power, right? The state of the economy. They're not in. They're making it seem like the dollar is this strong, powerful currency. And if that was the case, most of us wouldn't have to invest in a gold and silver, right? So, anyways, in any case, let's consider them one by one. No argument. Gold isn't an investment. Wow, and this is great because they even go in the arguments, and I'm curious to see if they get the points that I'm talking about. No argument. Gold isn't an investment. If anything, it's monetary speaking a base or money or currency. To believe otherwise is a category error. And I know, like we're not saying that. Most serious gold bulls understand that even if the word investment is sometimes bandied around carelessly, and it's not even about a word though. It's a hedge against inflation. We call it investing because you put money in. As the price rises, you sell and take your profits. That's what investing is. If you want to look at it literally, then you're missing the whole point. So whether trade is the right descriptive term, it's a bit trickier. See, they're looking at it's like trying. They're looking at the wrong things. You got to think on a bigger scale. Who cares about the literal words or not? It's a word. Who gives a crap? The whole point is you need to understand why it's it's profitable. If you're looking at this stuff, it's like oh, okay, well, you made a point. Maybe it literally is an investment, but does that mean you shouldn't invest into it? Like number 2, can gold be valued properly? Seems more like a Zen koan than a question with a clear answer, doesn't it? At one level, critics are undoubtedly right. With no income stream, super abundant existing stocks, gold is entirely at the mercy of perceptions. No, that's not true because the supply and demand. How much is in the earth? How much is getting dug out of the earth every year? Right. How much is getting transported in, with this global pandemic? Like these people are don't. It's honestly almost like it's almost frustrating to the point that it's laughable because it's like they don't they haven't looked into or understand how the market works at whatsoever. Entirely at the mercy of perceptions. It has intrinsic value, so it's not all perception. Bitcoin is, stock markets almost are, but it's in stock markets almost are because it's basing it off what the companies say they're going to be doing or hiring new, but precious metals is as black and white literal as you can get. So anyways, uh okay, so 3, it's certainly true that there's a sizable subspecies of gold bugs who are cult like in the intensity of their beliefs. They have their demons with God's sacred text, see the crisis, blah, blah, blah. So they're calling us the crazy, like, the God people, religious people, with our tinfoil hats. So, and it's stripped of emotional baggage. And, and it's okay, so let's see what he says. There is, after all, a long history of gold as money, not as a reflection of some Casey religious belief, but as a matter of a cool, pragmatic bottom up agreement. It's what makes Marcus chose and all of its intermittent problems. The real gold standard worked well for a long time. Even today, as central banks all have gold on their radar screens, quite a few are busy acquiring more. Indeed, much of the non-Western world countries to view gold as real money. Foolish, perhaps? Although I don't think so. In any case, ignore that possibility. That possibly uncomfortable fact is even more foolish. After all, right? Wow, these are guys or gals are with savings. Man, it's like this guy really hates gold. Like he has something. There's something deeper going on here. Like this guy really, like, cause he know. And see, this is the thing, because you could tell by the way he writes this stuff. He knows about its value. He's purposely missing context or miswording context or not giving the whole thing, and you can tell he knows. So he must have some type of resentment within himself, because you can tell that he understands this stuff. He's almost acting stupid to let the reader only get half of the side so they can think they know it all without knowing it all. So anyways, Number four, yes, it does fluctuate sometimes a lot. It's hardly alone, though. U.S. stocks fell 23% in one day, 1987, 30% a few weeks in 2008. So, did this lead on their dismissal of an asset class? Of course not. These things will happen in markets when speculation has run rife. When the stars align and the players from every time frame suddenly find themselves on the same side of the market, weird stuff happens. Sensible people understand that and form their views accordingly. So, drawing far reaching conclusions from such structural aberrations is plain foolishness. And that's why you don't do that. That's why you don't invest speculatively. That's why you look at the charts. That's why you apply what's happening into the economy. That's why you look at the supply and the demand. So, anyways, has gold bottomed? Well, nobody knows, of course. Short term, it depends whether the weak hands are finally out. So, anyways, I thought this was, and there's more. I'm kind of trying to summarize and highlight this because that is a lengthier article, and if I tried to argue and debate every single point he made, I would be here all night. Especially with the way he's saying things, I just want to go on it and just break it down and dissect it and try to see where he's coming from, even though I know I won't. So this is a different one. I like this one. See, this one, I like this one a lot because he even says, it's not a hate post. He's just trying to figure out what's the point of collecting silver, right? See, he's not coming from a bias. He's not trying to bash it. He's trying to understand. And that's what I'm trying to do as well. I'm trying to understand why these people don't. And when you're going to bash something and just downright just hate on it without knowing the market or why, that's ignorance. See, the open-minded person is just trying to see the other side because they want to learn, they want to get educated, maybe see something, a point that someone else made. That's maturity right there. So I like this guy. So what's the point of collecting silver? So I've thought of buying silver, 1 ounce bars, just because I heard it rare and holds its value, and I like the look of it and would like to hold and see my money. But what do you do with it? I hear some people keep it for when disaster comes and they can buy stuff with it. But to me, that just seems like it wouldn't work, as not enough people would own silver and wouldn't be willing to trade for food, water, chunk of silver. Do you just keep it until the value rises then sell it? How can it be valuable or be worth more than fiat currency if its value changes according to fiat currency? I'm not trying to hate. I think it's very cool, and I want to get into it, just wondering why I should. Appreciate your responses. And right after, you can tell that this guy, probably younger, because he thinks that there's just so many things that it's obvious. He thinks that the price of silver rises directly with the price of the dollar. He doesn't understand that it goes by percentage and it's actually opposing, not going with. And if you understood that, you wouldn't ask that question, right? If silver's $20 right now and the dollar depreciates, not appreciates, gold and silver goes higher. He thinks if the dollar goes higher, so does gold and silver. He thinks spot price at $23 is always going to stay $23 at spot price. He doesn't understand that spot price changes. So anyways, I like how he does he tries to understand the SHTF, the disaster stuff, and he even says, not enough people and not many people would trade for food, water, and shelter. And you don't trade for food, water, and shelter. You trade for money, right? Just as 5,000 years ago, people aren't trading silver for food. I mean, you could, but they're trading for other goods. Anything you need, you can trade with, or it's a form of money that you can, you could break down as anyone uses money or has been for the past 5,000 years, because it actually has value in it. So, anyways, I like this guy's response right here. You could tell this guy gets it. He probably watches a lot of YouTube videos, or maybe he has a YouTube channel. But you can see he gets it. This is, every point he makes is basically the stuff that we say on our channel every day. So I like right off the rip. So collecting silver is not quite buy and sell investment unless you are looking to make a few dollars, right? It's definitely not. It's a hedge against inflation. It's a long-term preservation of your wealth, right? You stack silver because it is worth money in every country on earth. It really is. It's universal. It's like everyone's speaking the same language, but in a monetary form. I can take a silver coin and use it in China for the same value. I couldn't do that with the dollar. So if the dollar fails, it just becomes kindling to burn. Look to Confederate money after Civil War. It was worthless. But if you had Confederate gold and silver, you still had your wealth and could use it to get American dollars. Silver is used for jewelry, bullion, and industrial capacities. When silver mines start to dry up, the price will skyrocket. Now, as far as an apocalypse situation, huge bars would be hard to chop up, right? And I love he says that. This guy must watch my videos, honestly, because this is what I always say. Don't buy huge bars if you're an SHTF stacker, because you're not going to take a chainsaw to your bar. You want to have fractional silver, because more than likely, especially if the price of silver goes up, no one's going to be able to buy that bar off you, and it's not going to be worth, on your side, it's not going to be worth trading anything for. Nothing will be that valuable. So anyways, let's keep on going. Also, that's why people will pay a premium over spot for fractional silver bullion. It's easier to say I'll give you 3/10 of an ounce for water than to try to cut your 1 ounce bar, right? I don't buy into that stuff though. Too high premium. You end up paying $27 versus $18 of a full bar, and I definitely don't buy fractionals. Buy constitutional or junk silver if you want to get into fractional silver. It's a lot cheaper and there's a lot more benefits. So that's what junk U.S. silver dimes are for. You can get them close spot, and since and this guy even says it, U.S. dimes, government minted, so you know exactly where it's from, and they don't make it anymore, so it could grow, a premium. See, this guy, everything I say, I've never read this response yet, and it's crazy because everything I say he says right afterwards, so like you know he gets it. So in my opinion, you stack silver, so after many years you have extra money for retirement, right? It is financial freedom is the end result. If you buy a crap load for $20 in the next 20 years, and when you're ready to retire, spot stays around $300 an ounce, you will have a huge chunk of money. Think about 2007 when I wanted to invest in gold. I had 10 grand. I wanted to invest at $700 an ounce. Instead, I used that money for a wedding. Gold went up to $1,600 an ounce, and if I remember correctly, I would have bought 700. I would have made a killing, over 100% profit. You stack junk silver, half quarters, dimes, barter in case government fails or zombies take over, right? You stack silver because you enjoy the look of it, the feel of actual wealth, and for hobby reasons too. There are many reasons to stack. It's hard to hit each one. And see, apply this response to this article right here. You can see why this person probably will not profit or be a very successful investor. And you see why this guy will. This article is completely missing the context and the whole point of why precious metals, gold and silver, is valuable and why you should buy it. This article is why people don't or shear away from gold and silver, and it makes me sick, because someone might be looking and really want to get into precious metals, read this article, and then they'll never touch, they'll never touch a silver ounce bar in their life, and because of this, and even though it's completely factually false, and this is all persuading, misleading evidence. So anyways, that's also why I love my channel. That's why I try to make the best, most influential but educational content out there. I'm not trying to tell you what you need to do with your silver, but I like to educate, tell what works for me, so you can apply it to your own silver stack accordingly. And that's true because not every one thing is going to work for everyone, right? Everyone has different financial situations, different income, different exit strategies, different amounts of silver. So I really can't tell you how to stack, but I can tell you, what to look for so you can apply it for yourself. Kind of like catch a fish for a man will eat for a day, teach a man how to fish will eat for a lifetime, that kind of thing, right? So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was see what I mean? This was definitely a crazy video. I hope you enjoyed this. I definitely did. I'm really trying to make some cool content for you guys and gals. I really think this is one of the most entertaining videos out. It's pretty educational as well, because I do look on both sides of the fence and break things down. So from an entertaining and an educational standpoint, I think this video hit the nail on the head. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. This was Silver Slayer. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon.